the Commonwealth Arena and Sir Chris Hoy Velodrome, better known as the Emirates Arena. And we're here for the 2017 Total BWF World Championships. It's the 23rd staging of the World Championships. So after those first 6 matches, we've got another thrilling 6 matches to come. And we're starting with men's singles and the bronze medalists from this year's European Championships. Hans-Kristian Vittinghus is up against Tian Houwei, who is a former World Junior Champion. Then we've got women's singles and the gold medalist from 2013, Ratchanok Intanon, up against Yapray Chen of Malaysia. Then home interest in the men's doubles, Campbell and McHugh. They are the reigning and 2-time national champions. They're up against Arends and Yilab from the Netherlands. Well, more British interest in the women's doubles. Jenny Moore and Vicky Williams are up against Baumann and Fontaine in that women's doubles. Then we're back to men's singles once again, and Takuma Ueda of Japan is up against the Olympic bronze medalist Victor Axelsen, the number 3 seed here in Glasgow. And then we finish once again with more interest. The 2016 national men's singles champion Matthew Carter is up against Vladimir Malkov of Russia. So 6 more very good matches to come. And as far as the men's singles is concerned, this section of the draw, well, if you were with us earlier, huge shock, the biggest shock of the championships, because the 4-time beaten finalist, the number 2 seed Lee Chong-wei, has been beaten by Brice Lovedes. But of course, we're in the section just above that. We're going to see both of those matches in the top little section of the draw that we're looking at right now. And we're starting with Vittinghus against Tian Houwei. So there is the former World Junior Champion, the left-handed Tian Houwei. Playing in his second World Championships, he was World Junior Champion in 2009. He didn't play in the World Championships last time around in Jakarta. He didn't qualify, but he did play in Copenhagen. He was seeded then as well. In fact, he's seeded 1 place higher here in Glasgow than he was in Copenhagen 3 years ago. So, as far as Tian Houwei is concerned, well, he's always a hard worker on court, but I was just about to mention all that heavy strapping, his left ankle, his left knee, and the 25-year-old from Fuzhou in Fujian province on the east coast of China. Number 11 in the world ranking at the moment, but he did spend a total of 28 weeks over 2 different spells as world number 6. Now, this is a first round match, so obviously they haven't had any matches so far here in Glasgow. With a draw of 64, of course, the first round is played over 2 days. His opponent, Hans-Kristian Vittinghus, 31 years of age now, born in Friedrichshafen on the northeast coast of Jutland. And I understand, Lars, that means Friedrichshafen Harbour. I think that's correct, but you can check me on that a little later. 1 meter 80, that's 5'11". He's been much higher than he is right now. He's been in the top 10. A total of 11 weeks as the world number 8. Well, he had a sensational year last year, did Vittinghus. And as far as these two are concerned, this is the 5th meeting between the two. And Tian Houwei has won the last 2, including that first round encounter at the Malaysian Superseries last year. In fact, the last 3 encounters between these two men was 3-game affairs. Susan Taylor from Australia is our umpire for this one, and Diraj Unudre of Mauritius is our service judge. Lars, quickly tell me, did I get that translation right on Friedrichshafen.
Exactly right.
Ladies and gentlemen,
I don't think Hans-Kristian
right,
would characterize himself as a
Tian
person from
Houwei,
Jutland. He
China.
moved very early to Zealand.
Yeah.
And on my left,
yeah, but his place of birth
Hans-Kristian
was...
Solberg, Vittinghus,
That is exactly right.
Denmark.
Yeah.
Hans-Kristian Solberg, Vittinghus to serve. Love all. Play.
So this first round, men's singles. Well, Lars, I was saying that Vittinghus had a wonderful year last year, on and off the court, because of course he won his first ever Super Series title down in Sydney at Australian Open. And then on the 10th of September, I think it was, he got married shortly after that big victory.
Yeah, indeed, he did have a very emotional year because he also lost his father to cancer, unfortunately. So it was an up and down year for him, and of course winning the Thomas Cup was a big moment with him as a key player in the team.
Yes, I understand he is a great team member. I've spoken to him on numerous occasions. He's an absolutely charming gentleman, and I would assume that his character within the team environment is very positive.
Indeed it is, and on top of that, he won some crucial matches during the tournament. So he contributed in many ways to the positive result.
Service over. 1-2. Service over. 3-1.
Well, as far as the left-hander is concerned, I suppose, Lars, that his biggest achievement in one of our major events, I'm not talking about World Championships, but I'm talking about All England Championships, which is one of our premier Super Series, reached the final last year. Lost out to Lindan in the final. Lindan, of course, on that occasion winning his 6th All England title.
Yeah, but in addition to that, he won a memorable match in the semi-final against Vittinghus, a very tough physical match. So I'm sure that even though he's had the chance afterwards, that Hans-Kristian really wants to get a revenge from that. It definitely was a good rally, and we can see that both players have started out in a very high speed, and they're trying both to get control of the rallies and control of the match. And so far, Tian Houwei seems to be more comfortable on court than Vittinghus.
It's always been a bit of a problem for Vittinghus. He's such a good athlete, he covers the court well, but it's always occurred to me when he's playing, how is he going to win the rallies? You know, he loves throwing himself around and retrieving shuttles, but sometimes I feel he needs to have more urgency about finishing off a rally.
Yeah, you could be right, but the funny thing is that when he came through as a junior, he was a full attack player. He played the net tight and relied on his big smash, so it's not because he can't finish the rallies, it's just because he has transformed his style a little bit into be a more patient player and then waiting to put in the attack at the right time.
So I've just made a boo-boo. You've changed, your coaching has changed his style.
No, and I was actually talking to him today, and he said that today he really wanted to try to take control and try to get control of the match and play a little bit more offensive style than he maybe normally does. But he also knew that that was going to be Tian Houwei's plan, more or less the same. Yeah. So and so far he has succeeded a little bit more in getting his plan through in the match.
Service over, 9-3.
Yeah, and Vittinghus has played well here, and as I said earlier, the speed is very good, but most of the rally ends by Vittinghus making a mistake, and of course you can't do that at this level and expect to win, because he doesn't get as many mistakes back.
Well, there's the dive, throwing himself around the courts.
4-9.
Yeah, that was a very typical Vittinghus rally, the dive here and then ready to play the counter-attack.
Yeah, and the fact that he played cross-court smash from that round-the-head position when he looked off balance was remarkable.
Yeah, and when you can do it, it's when the opponent is under stress in defense, and you can control it. It's oftentimes a good choice to play cross on cross, like Tian Houwei made a cross lift, and then when he crosses it back, then it's difficult to change the direction for the opponent.
Play. Service over, 10-4.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, nice
Service over.
stick smash here. Look at how he's only using the forearm in that shot, but it's still quite powerful and very accurate.
It's almost like a rebound, isn't it? Instead of following through with the racket all the way, it's just sort of like a rebound.
Yeah, it's a very short movement, just rotating the forearm.
Service over, 11-5.
By which you can also get a very steep angle.
Well, it's a 6-point advantage for the number 10 seed, Tian Houwei.
跟节奏用的还是可以啊，就坚持这样一个战术，对方打死你也很正常。另外一个对角线的球，不管是高球还是推球，稍微可以用力一点，往高一点角度没问题。好，这要清楚啊，就按照这样。往前的话，我切完他主动。
Hvordan det er fint, bare for at spille. Så kommer der højst sandsynligt større chance. Det skal blive ved med at tro på. Så clear med.
Court 1, 20 seconds.
Så skal stå.
Court 1, 20 seconds.
Kenneth Jonassen, the head coach, the man giving the instructions there. And I seem to recall he was number 2 seed at World Championships, wasn't he, Jonassen, one year?
That is very, very likely.
Play.
He has been up there in the world ranking anyways.
Yeah. So what was he saying? Did you get to hear enough of it?
Yeah, but he, as I expected, actually, he was, you could say, despite the score, he was quite happy with the way that Vittinghus plays, but told him to be more patient and wait for better opportunities than what the ones he were taking already.
Well, I've been watching very, very closely since the start of this match, Lars, because I was very concerned about the amount of strapping on the left leg of the left-hander. And I can't say as I see any problem with the movement. In fact, I think he's moving well, better than I've seen him all year.
Yeah, I agree with you. I don't think you should put too much emphasis on the strapping, and that's the thing with this kinesio tape that the players are using a lot of time these days. It doesn't have to mean that they're injured. It's just if they're a little bit sore or if he's had problems there for a while. So I think it's also a precaution. So, but he's moving very well. So.
Yeah. Oh, that's a delightful drop shot. That's what I'm so used to seeing Vittinghus do, patiently outmaneuvering his opponent. Now, I can see why he adopts those tactics when you watch a rally like that, but it doesn't alter the fact that sometimes I think he even wears down himself by the way he plays.
Yeah, and if you want to play this way, it's important that your shape is at least as good as the opponent's. But he's had an almost perfect training leading up to this, so I'm sure he will believe a lot in his fitness as well, which is very important for any men's singles player.
Quickly.
And it was nice from Vittinghus' point of view to have a long rally that didn't finish with him making a mistake, because that is very important, because otherwise it will give Tian Houwei too much confidence that it's just a matter of staying alive in the rallies.
Goodness. Oh, fabulous rally. Well, he never gives up on a shot. Look at this, down on his knees, up again so quickly.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure that this is the way that Vittinghus had imagined the match should be. That's the way he would like the rallies to go, that he's in control. It's okay that it's long rallies, but he wants to be in control and more or less on top most of the time.
Well, we saw the smash height there, and if he's 1.80 meter, then it means that he jumped 1 meter 19 centimeters. Not jumped, but his racket out, stretched up arm.
Some of it
with
will
his
be arm and racket,
yeah. Still good elevation.
Yeah, beautiful elevation, and a good comeback here by Tian Houwei, and now we can really see the battle for the initiative going on.
Oops. Yeah, he knows it.
15-9.
Hitting himself on his head with his hand after that. Think. Yeah. Well wide.
Very nice skills on the net here by Tian Houwei. Completely fools Vittinghus.
Service over.
That was a little bit strange. He missed that one, but a good shot by Vittinghus. It took Tian Houwei by surprise that he lifted that one. Here it is. It's a situation where he can play the push or the block to the net, and he got surprised that it was an overplay.
Definitely seeing what you've been talking about with the initiative.
But also he's more relaxed Vittinghus now and plays a lot of very aggressive shots to the backcourt, but still with height before he puts in the attack. So I'm sure the coaches will be very, very pleased with this rally, and it seems like he's finally feeling more comfortable on court. But maybe it's too late for the first game here.
No, only 5 points in it. You never know. That's why we love sport. Oh, that was absolutely delightful.
Yeah, and a very similar shot to the one that Tian Houwei fooled Vittinghus with a few rallies ago. Here, deceptive block to the net. He shows that he will play a lift and stops the movement and plays a control block. Lovely shot.
Let's go wide. Yep. Well,
13,
just 3 points
16.
in it now. A little look from Tian Houwei back to his coach's bench. A little nervous look, in my opinion.
Yeah, and he will have to come up with a slight change to try to get the initiative back, because right now Vittinghus is controlling the affair.
Oh, lucky netboard. Oh, goodness me.
Service over. 17-13.
Bounced off the top of the tape. Landing virtually on the line. There's absolutely nothing as an opponent you can do about that. That's short. Oh, he's got it back. Well, one knew after the deflection on the lift, and the lift well short of the back line, that Vittinghus was really in trouble. Good retrieving from Tian Houwei.
Yeah, amazing defense.
Could you come and mop up here?
But look where his feet are as he plays this jump smash. He's inside that double service line, an indication that the lift was short.
Yeah, that's way too short, and it's actually amazing that Vittinghus gets the first smash, but then a relatively easy kill from the front court. But again, an amazing rally, and amazing quality for both players.
Play.
Brilliant defence. Oh, this is real quality. Real quality. Ah, what a pity.
19,
My
13.
goodness, the pace of that.
It's amazing quality and amazing rally, and it's a pity that it ends with an error again, because
Yeah.
it actually the level of game is much higher than that. So, and you could also see that was not the way Hans-Kristian wanted to end the rally, of course. But it's really enjoyable to watch both players playing at this level.
We've had at least 3 rallies, over 30 shots at least. The longest, of course, was 49 so far. Challenge here from Vittinghus.
Solberg, Vittinghus challenges.
And I think he could have a case here where I said it. It looked a little bit wide. But I sense right now that both players, they believe that they're physically stronger than the opponent. And that creates very good badminton, because then they give it their all.
Ooh,
Good call.
it just caught the line. Well done, line
Challenge
judge.
unsuccessful. 1 challenge remaining. 20, game point, 13.
So, game point
Play.
opportunities. On a run of 4 straight points for Tian Houwei. It's clear.
Service over. 14, 20.
That was the one. Punching through the shuttle. Looking as if it was going to be a downward shot, but then playing the clear. Again, it's short. Oh, goodness me. That's brilliant.
Game.
Calm as you like. Tian Houwei.
Tian Houwei.
It would be awfully easy to get distracted by your opponent diving for the shuttle. But he kept his cool. Look at that effort, though, from Vittinghus, and how quickly he gets up. But then calmly hits it back to the same place, Tian Houwei, and closes out the opening game. 21-14 in 22 very entertaining minutes.
所以这个你还是赶一点就行，幅度很好啊，这种状态就保持，就是掌握这个精心，刚才李总还谈深呼吸这种，掌握好，调节好自己心态正常，然后自己清楚，清楚什么就是还是一样，就是你打下来我打你。那种
Efter nogle af de korte drop. Okay? Stadigvæk. Noget tempoet ud af angrebet, så det ligger foran ham. Forbanen. Kort. Over. Der er masser af plads. Det sted, du skal mest passe på, det er, efter du har angrebet hårdt og så løft. Hvis han har stået i god position, det er der, han kommer, så laver han transhoften. Ja. Du har vist, at du kan finde det. Ja. Det er en helt ny kamp. Godt. Så. Hver gang du har angrebet til den der...
So both players given advice by their coaches. Tian Houwei,
20 seconds.
advice from the 2003 World Champion Charles
20
Wanzhe.
seconds.
I think he was told just to keep it calm, not to get drawn into being too exuberant. I'll let you do the translation for the Danish.
I just wonder if it's Chinese or body language you've been translating here.
I'm going to let you wonder. Did you get to hear anything that Kenneth said?
Yeah, he had some specific advice and actually really just a recap of what they had talked about prior to the match. And he told him to use the softer attack as well. So he's hit some smashes in front of Tian Houwei's defense. I don't know if this last stick smash was particularly soft, but it was at least in steeper and in front of the racket of Tian Houwei.
Oh, that's well worked from Vittinghus.
3-love.
Yeah, next to Kenneth Jonassen is the sports psychologist from Team Denmark, Jacob Hansen, who has worked with Vittinghus for quite a few years now. And Hans-Kristian likes, when Jacob's at the tournament, likes him to be the second chair in the coaching.
Yep, definitely not. That's good judgment. Crikey, that's very good judgment.
It was very well left because I don't think Vittinghus hit it particularly hard, but he had a sense that it was going long, and that was right.
Remarkable in that rally. I was watching Lars. Each player was pushing the opponents in the back and then bringing them forward, and pushing them to the back again, then bringing them forward. Really, really making the other work so hard.
Yeah, and the opening of the second game looks very much like the opening of the first game, with the player on this side closest to us, a little more in control than the opponent, and it could indicate that it's a little bit easier maybe to push the and play accurately to the backcourt from this end.
Super reverse slice.
Beautiful drop shot here.
If Vittinghus hadn't got his racket to it, I reckon that would have landed inside that front service line.
Yeah, it would. It was very short. And that's one of the advantages of slightly slicing the shuttle, that it will lose some speed, and apart from being deceptive, it's when you can control it, it also takes out the speed and makes the drop shots more accurate.
Two, 5, play.
trip there from Vittinghus. Yeah, just
3-5.
through his focus, I suspect. Just as he goes back. Oh yeah, that was a nasty little stumble. Oh yeah, I think his left ankle was looking as if it was about to turn, but he managed to compensate. That could have been very nasty.
Yeah, but I think he recovered and diminished the damage, so I'm sure he'll be okay.
Yeah.
Service
That's a great
over.
net shot.
6.
Little bit of height, just to make it come down very steeply.
Yeah, and you can see here how he meets it very high.
Yeah, Tian Houwei didn't think it was coming over.
No.
I think Tian Houwei should have left that.
7-3.
Yeah, it could be, but it was very good anticipation by Vittinghus again,
Yeah.
taking the shuttle very early at the net. Watch
Yeah.
here, stepping forward. Yep. Yeah. It would have been better to see where it had landed instead of
Yes.
putting it straight in the middle of the net, at least.
Yeah, because by the time he decided to play it, it was so late.
Yeah, it was almost impossible.
Yeah. I like that defence from Vittinghus,
8-3.
driving it across court from his backhand side.
Yeah, both with speed and then he gives it the angle, so Tian Houwei has to change direction and go across the court.
It was almost like a double shot, wasn't it?
Yeah. But he does play a decent level of men's doubles, actually.
Does he?
Yeah.
In club level?
Yeah, they only play one match in club, and they still think that his singles is better. But, but in
training?
In training, he plays a decent level. Yeah.
That's interesting. Just wide. My goodness me, if that had landed in, that would have been the shot of the day.
Yeah, but what an attempt. Watch it here. Very good spinning net drop.
Yeah, his timing on that, because of the spin from his opponent, was immaculate.
And it is actually easier to play this cross-court shot than play it straight when it's spinning so much. And had there not been a sideway drift this way, then I'm pretty sure it would have been inside.
Service over.
Much more aggression from Vittinghus in the second game, and that does him good.
Good flick serve. Well worked again.
11-4.
And Vittinghus goes to the mid-game interval with the advantage. And 7-point advantage to be precise. Look at that, super angle.
Vi tager farten ud af noget af angrebet. Bare bliver transport. Så er det vigtigt, at vi også kører nedover. Så bliver der plads op til tætte net. Okay? Det er ham, der skal ind og skabe den. Du skal bare spille den store bane. Godt, når du er fremme og trykker.
以底线为主，他攻就让他攻。
1, 20 seconds.
Charles Hunter always has his shirt collar
20
turned
seconds.
up. He's done that for years, ever since he was a player.
Eric Cantona style.
Yes.
So was there anything new from Kenneth?
No, obviously he was very happy with the way things are going right now, and especially with the last slice from Vittinghus, because that's what is exactly the softer and shorter attack he had asked for earlier. So he was quite happy and still wants Vittinghus to be aggressive, but keep the court big, move Tian Houwei around the entire court.
So that's what you mean by keeping the court big?
Yeah, instead of just playing either the front or the back, so he has a small area to cover, then
Service over.
play all areas.
5-12.
Unbelievable. What wonderful play from the left-hander. He's in trouble at the back of the court there, Vittinghus. How on earth he reached that? But it's such a good follow-up from the left-hander.
Yeah, and very good movement from Tian Houwei after the quality cross-court attack, where he also takes out a little bit of the speed, slices it slightly, which gives him the speed, the steepness and accuracy, and then he can he knows that it's very likely that Vittinghus will play the straight return, and he's reaching that very high.
Play.
Vittinghus has got to be careful here, because I just get the sense that perhaps after that coaching interval, the mid-game interval, that Tian Houwei has been given different instructions, and maybe there's a little more urgency in his style of play.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and you, in a match like this, you have to fight for the initiative all the time. The opponent is not giving it to you, so you have to earn it. You have to earn your lift, so you get the attacking opportunities.
Missed it.
Yeah, and this rally is almost an exercise. That's a smash, block, lift, and then smash from the other side. So it just shows how eager they are, both of them, to get on the attack and to get out of the defense.
I suspect that's the longest rally of this second game. Missed it. It's wide.
14-7.
Yeah, and now it's Tian Houwei who's overdoing his shots a little bit too over-ambitious, as we saw Vittinghus was in the first game.
Vittinghus, when you look at tournament finals and titles over his career so far, well in front of his opponent, because he's been in 19 finals. He's won 13 of them, including his first 5 finals, whereas Tian Houwei, just 11 finals, just 11 finals. What am I saying? Having won 3 career titles. In fact, his only title this year, the China Masters, was his first title for almost 4 years, since winning the London Grand Prix Gold of 2013. Well, Tian Houwei didn't think that was going to come back over the net, because he stopped, then started again, and then realised it was going to go wide.
Exactly. And if I'm not mistaken, I think he, on his way to that victory in London, he beat Vittinghus as well. Yeah.
Suddenly realises I better chase this, but it was just wide. Beat Vittinghus in that final.
Yeah.
I'll be really impressed if you remember the score.
9-15.
I just remember he came back quite disappointed.
22-20, 21-16.
Yeah. He loses the focus a little bit on that last shot, Vittinghus here. He meets it early, but then walks away a little bit too fast. Have to
stay with it.
Push your shoulder through the shot. He forgot that a little bit. And the margins are not very big in badminton at this level, so you can't do that at this speed. You have to do everything very well.
Yes, and it was just occurring to me. I mean, here are two players on court, and I would say they're both, prior to the tournament, before the draw was done, I would have said either of these two men have the quality and the capability of picking up a medal, and here they are meeting in the very first round.
Yeah. And I'm sure none of them have been very happy when they saw the draw, but
yeah.
But you can't do anything about that, so
no.
So you just have to prepare your best and play your best.
Well, this is a run of 4 straight points for Tian Houwei. Lovely net shot. How tight it was to the net.
Yeah, and as we said about Tian Houwei in the first game when Vittinghus was closing in on the score, that now it's important for Vittinghus to regain the initiative and get the control, because otherwise Tian Houwei will have too much confidence from this end as well.
12-15.
What was the score when I said Vittinghus had to be awfully careful?
I don't remember, but you were right.
You can just sense it sometimes, can't you, Lars?
Yeah.
Well, you coaches sense it much better than I do.
But one of the things I learned as a coach over the years was that as soon as you sense it, you almost every time have to say it. In the beginning, I wanted to be sure that my sense was right, so I waited a few more rallies, and then it could be too late.
Yeah.
So
you have to go with your gut.
Exactly.
Yep. Very interesting. Well, this is amazing. 6 straight points.
Good choice there.
Yeah, good retrieving too from the left-hander. Yeah, that was important. A very important point as far as this man is concerned, Vittinghus.
Yeah, but it's very good choice that the first smash chance he's got, he's playing the drop shot and then waiting until the second time and to go for full. Very good variation.
Well, Denmark always very good in the men's singles over the years, since the very first World Championships 40 years ago in Malmö in 1977. Oh, that's gone long. Oh, the challenge here.
Hans-Kristian, Solberg, Vittinghus challenges called
Vittinghus, he thought that may have caught the back line, but he's hitting with the drift. Good to get it checked, though. So what does Hawkeye say? It was out.
challenge unsuccessful, 1 challenge remaining. Service over 14-16, play.
Only 1 point in it now.
16.
And more importantly, 8 of the last 9 points going to Tian Houwei.
Yeah, and the problem for Vittinghus right now is that Tian Houwei is getting his attack through Vittinghus' defense easier than the other way around. Vittinghus has to work very hard to make a point.
No, I don't believe it. Oh, and another one. That is sensational badminton.
Yeah, it's amazing by both of them.
17.
But it proves my point a bit that it's very hard for Vittinghus to get it on the floor.
Look at that dive.
Very well played.
And then the backhand cross-court. That was totally unexpected. Fabulous. Absolutely fabulous rally.
Thank you.
And an important point too, as far as scoreboard pressure is concerned. Now this match is just getting better and better.
Yeah, we wouldn't mind watching another game of this, would we?
No, absolutely not. I'm to 5 to 21 points. I'm only kidding.
Play.
And then you have to be quick if you want to change the rules now.
No, I don't, I assure you. Oh, he's done it again. Well, I said he might throw himself around the court.
Service over.
Well, this is going to be as much about nerves as anything. Well.
And an intelligent player as he is, Vittinghus, I don't know which of the choices he made in this rally he disliked, but
but he wasn't happy.
No, he wasn't happy about himself,
Thank
for
you.
sure.
Yes.
Yes, he's just holding up his hand in apology because he hit his opponent, but I thought for a moment that may have been called a fault. No, a definite apology, because he wasn't, in badminton terms, as far as faults are concerned, he wasn't that close. That drops long. And 2 points away from taking this second game of Vittinghus and forcing a decider. That's good.
Service over. 17-19.
What an important rally coming up. Oh yes, that took courage. That's very courageous play.
Service over.
Rushing the nets.
20.
Going for the kill,
point,
and it paid
17.
dividends. Game point opportunities for Vittinghus. Just watch how quickly he goes forward. Look at that. But it's controlled aggression. So game points, 3 of them. 1 will do. We have got our wish, Lars. We've got a third and deciding game in this excellent first round men's singles encounter. The second game to Vittinghus, 21-17.
Så må du godt bruge de første par dueller til at ville angreb. Men så skal vi tilbage til det spil, der virkede herover. Det vil sige, noget fart ud af det. Bloddrop foran ham. Husk clearen heroverfra. Okay? Godt.
也要第一局很清楚，对对，要给他攻。你看，第二局就上来给他攻了几个以后，有点不敢顶出去，所以吧，后面节奏就没有，
还是要敢顶后场。
第一局和最后几个他攻得很好，是吧？没问题，但给他攻得好，我们再来，就跟他斗得紧紧。你看，终于犯错误了吧？他这落太多，应该是15比17的局，是吧？好，还是这样紧紧斗着，别冲，别给后场，别太消极的给。对，还是说我稍微限制他以后啊，打不下，打不死你。 是吧？
从后推，他都是过度下压，过度我在切你完后我再推不要紧，然后他推你底线的时候，你后面反击后场都很好。他老现在要想腰网，反击后场不一定都打直线，也可以打对角的高球，对不对？
好，对，想一想。
Court 1, 20 seconds. Court 1, 20 seconds.
Well, when Kenneth Jonassen came on to court to take that coaching break, he seemed very specific in what he was saying. What was that, Lars?
Final game.
Yeah, but he said that it was okay that Vittinghus, if he wanted, started out very aggressive in the first couple of rallies, but then he had to go back to the plan that was working well towards the end of the first game, which was more patient and a little bit softer attack.
What I did think was interesting as well, Lars, was the fact that Charles Guangzhou seemed to be laughing or making light of something that he was saying to his man on court, Tian Houwei. And you don't often see that with the Chinese coaches. I thought that was interesting and good.
Yeah, and I think it's one of his strengths. Even though I didn't understand a word of what he said, I understood that Tian Houwei said yes, and that's a good indication.
Yeah.
When the player agrees with the coach. So. And you could see the experience on both sides of in the interval. That it's experienced players and experienced coaches. That there was no panic, and it was just a calm discussion about what is our strategy now for the beginning of the next game.
That's fantastic. Oh goodness, where on earth did that come from?
3 love.
It came from a little twist in his wrist. You can watch it here. Look at that.
Yeah, totally unexpected. Beautiful.
Yeah, beautiful. And just using the speed from the shot, from the smash from Tian Houwei, and just giving it the direction. You don't need to hit a smash return, actually. You just have to get it that direction because of the speed in the shuttle.
Service over.
I think that's the first service error of the match.
3.
And I just picked up the Vittinghus says that's 2 easy mistakes in a row, and of course that annoys him because he has to work hard for his own points. So.
Oh, good defense. Oh my goodness. And he was deceived.
Yeah, but very, very good defense, and that's crucial because before he played the cross-court defense, this time he played the long defense over Tian Houwei, and both variations took him by surprise. And then it's very good control that he keeps his calm, even though he's almost tripping on his way to that last drop shot.
Yeah.
Again, very well anticipated after a good lift from Vittinghus. Steps in to meet the shuttle here, and unfortunately for him, overdoes the shot a little bit, but
right idea.
Yeah, tactically it's perfect.
Oof. It's clever too, the hold and flick over the left-hander's head. Yes. Once again, an acute angle that wasn't expected by Tian Houwei.
But he sets himself up, Vittinghus, as he did it towards the end of the first game, by playing these aggressive overplays to the backcourt, where he shows that with the vertical racket he wants to play it flat, a flat drive, and then he just angles it over Tian Houwei, and he has to be ready for the flat drive, and by that he's automatically laid on the backcourt.
Well, it hit the top of the tape, but fell back his own side. And you were talking earlier, Lars, about the margins at this level. Oh, tiny. Look at that.
Yeah, and I'm sure Vittinghus is so pleased, because we had a lot of rallies in the first game where he played very good rallies, and we had a long rally, but it finished off with himself making a mistake. This time it was Tian Houwei who made the mistake, and I think he feels that's quite important, significant for the game.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But again, we must praise the quality these two players are giving us today. It's amazing badminton, and the real tough fight.
6-3. Play.
It's taken with the drift. There's a sideways drift from left to right as we all look down on the court.
Yeah, that's a very difficult shot to play accurately. The cross-court clear on this diagonal is almost impossible. You have to play it with a lot of margin.
Yeah, I can understand why he's not happy with that.
Yeah, it's like sometimes he's making small slips of concentration or focus within the rallies, and then because this is by far not the most difficult shot in the rally, and that's why he's so unhappy with missing it.
I said that Denmark earlier, Lars, that could be very successful over the years since the start of the World Championships. Do you know how many medals Denmark has won in the men's singles?
Oh, I need some time if I have to count the medals, but I would make a guess of 2 golds.
Yes.
And then
6-all.
I'll quickly tell you.
At least one silver and
4 silvers.
4 silvers and quite a lot of bronzes as well.
That's right. 18 medals in total.
That's quite good, isn't it?
It's very good.
But we should have had more.
Typical coach.
7-6.
Well, the match clock just ticks over the hour mark, just as this man, Tian Houwei, goes into the lead in the first time in this deciding game. Well, the racket thrown in frustration.
8-6.
Yeah, there went the racket, but you could almost sort of see Vittinghus saying to himself, what do I have to do to stop this man getting the shuttle back? Because the lunge forward by Tian Houwei on his forehand net was superb.
Thank you.
Yeah, and right now is exactly the moment where the physical part plays a really important role. Not because any of the players can't run anymore, but to keep the speed and to keep your head calm and keep playing the quality in the shots. When you are getting tired and you have played men's singles for over an hour, it's very difficult. And you can see some of these mistakes they didn't make earlier on.
Yeah.
So it's very important. And I think that the physical condition is very equal between them. So it's very much a mental game right now about who can keep his calm and keep all the parts of the game together.
I don't believe that. I do not believe it. And there again, it just exemplifies the point I've just made. Yeah. You know, there was an open court basically for Vittinghus because he had played such a good net shot. There's the dive. He doesn't just get it back, he gets it back with interest. And then Vittinghus, instead of attacking as he probably would have done, just plays a simple lift and then the error. It's that mindset of, what on earth do I have to do to win this rally? The frustration.
But I think actually it's a strength that he doesn't try when he gets surprised that the return or the retrieve from Tian Houwei is so accurate on the net. So then I think it's actually a good idea to play the lift, but then he forgets to play the rally. Like it's maybe he feels that was a good opportunity, and it's just a split second. You lose focus, but then you have lost the rally.
Yeah.
But a very good comeback here. He
9.
And that's one of the things he has improved, Vittinghus, over the years, that to let go of these disappointments, that there will always be. You never play the perfect match.
No.
Let go of them, because you can't do anything more with them. The only thing you can do is to play your best in the next rally.
Yeah. Good flick serve again. Oh, well taken. Well taken. Now that's what I was sort of expecting in the previous rally, but the quality of the dive net shot from Tian Houwei was simply too good.
Can you return the shuttle?
Yeah.
Look how he's hunting the shuttle, ready to pounce.
And this time Vittinghus is closer to the net, so it's easier for him to follow it up. But again, a very tight call on the push from the net. It's very difficult to be so aggressive close to the tape without hitting it, which of course is illegal.
Quick again coming forward. Hans-Kristian Vittinghus.
10-9.
Look at the reaction too. He's overdone it. He's overdone it. That goes down as a disappointing miss from Tian Houwei. But it does mean that the bronze medalist from the European Championships earlier this year, Vittinghus, has the advantage at the change of ends in this deciding game.
Ja, men det er okay. Det er det. Nu skal vi lige huske, det er lige nu alt, hvor den træning den kommer til at give. Ja, ikke? Det kommer til at handle om, hvem der kan huske at være i gameplanen. Hele tiden. Lave små ændringer. Og så holde ud til smerten der. Okay? Så være på hele tiden. Du føler, du drifter, så skal du tage en pause eller bede om at få pause. Ja? Skal jeg lige smule mere ned til den her bagbane. Ja? Og så skal vi have...
Well, obviously there was specific instructions there to Vittinghus, but I've been very aware of what you said earlier about the sports psychologist sitting on the coach's bench, but he doesn't seem to say anything. It's just a reassuring sort of presence, is it?
Yeah, it is, and I'm sure that every time Hans-Kristian looks at Jacob, then he recalls a lot of their talks and the focus they have together. But actually, this interval was almost only a mental interval, where Kenneth said that, as I said earlier, this is about who can stick to the game plan now, who can keep his calm, because it is a real fight and you're both tired.
Yeah. No, it's fascinating for us to watch. And it really emphasises what sport is truly about, because it's a battle of ability and will. That will, that desire, that character to deliver on these big points when it's close, when the pressure is on.
Yeah, exactly. And then the big challenge in badminton is that it's a very, very fine skills you have to be able to do at a high speed, and when you're physically very, very tired. So it's very difficult to keep all the elements together.
Oh, that may have been going out. That certainly has. Well, there's only going to be a couple of points in this.
13.
A couple of crucial points. I have to say, Vittinghus does look fitter at the moment than I've seen him for some time. I know at the national championships earlier this year, he injured his thigh. He seems to have completely recovered from that, and he looks in great physical condition.
Yeah, he has, but he has had some trouble with his foot, and that means that he can't practice as much on court as he did when he was younger. But I've seen that he has said himself that he feels fitter than ever right now.
Extraordinary. Yeah, well played, Tian Houwei.
Service over. 11.
But if I'm not mistaken, so is Tian Houwei. He's also fitter than ever. He looks very fit right now.
Well, of course, this is the tournament that all the players have targeted and built towards this year. Of course, the Olympics last year, that's totally understandable. And that's why we don't have a World Championship in Olympic year. But this is the one, this week in Glasgow. This is what all the players here desire.
Yeah, and that's the time of year where you have time really to prepare. You have six to 8 weeks where you can really focus on practicing towards the World Championship without interference from other tournaments. So it's so we see the players at their best right now.
14.
And we see two players who are really fighting out a battle here.
Don't believe it. That's gone wrong.
15, 11.
And the dive and the refusal to let the shuttle hit the floor from Vittinghus pays dividends once more. Look at that.
Yeah, because that's again another way too short lift from Vittinghus, but he has a hunch where Tian Houwei wants to put his smash in and plays an okay shot, and as we've seen earlier, Tian Houwei is very quick at following up at the net, but maybe this time he lost the focus a little bit and overplayed the push from the net.
15, 11. Play. Yes, you may. Play.
Rush of blood to the head there. It wasn't the usual sort of tactic. Extravagant choice of shot.
Yeah, it was, and you can see Tian Houwei is on his way there, so it's not even a winning shot. So it's a risk that's not worth taking, playing that deceptive shot.
I like that smash though, and you're right. How's he responded to that silly error where he tried something extravagant? He's won the next rally, and that, you're right, Lars, is the big difference with him now.
Yeah.
And he even affords himself a little smile. Oh, crikey, it's
Service over.
But it's
fluctuating, isn't it?
16.
Yeah, but it's really on the edge because both of them get tempted to try too much a little bit too early because, of course, they're both tired and
Yeah.
they would really like to win an easy rally, and there are not many of those.
Missed it.
14, 16.
And I think this is actually a good choice because there is a good opening and he meets the shuttle early. So, but again, maybe in his eager to kill it, he forgets that there is a drift this way, and then misses. Plays it slightly wide.
15, 16.
And now it's really important for Vittinghus to go back to zero and really go back to the game plan, because now he's had 3 disappointing rallies in a row.
Missed it. He's missed it. Yeah, he doesn't even challenge. He knows he missed it. Well, almost an hour and 13 minutes into the match. It's 1 game all, and now it's 16 all. Who's got the nerve? Who's got the character to produce right now when it's crucial? Oh, that's gone wide as well. Well,
17, 16.
it's 5 straight points to Tian Houwei.
Change.
For a moment there, I thought the raised arm was in a challenge. It's to change the shuttle. I thought he'll never get a challenge there, surely.
Oh, that was very late.
Oh, this is amazing. 6 straight
18,
points.
16.
And that's how quickly it turns in badminton. Like, if you just slightly doubt your plan, then you will oftentimes make quite a few bad choices in a row, and that's what we see Vittinghus has done here.
19, 16.
And it all stemmed, in my opinion, from that inside-out backhand attempted cross-court net shot when I said that was an extravagant choice. And he made an error on it. And since then, to me, he's not been the same player.
No, that's true. He played one good rally after that, but
now on a run of 8 straight points. From 12-16 down, the number 10 seed Tian Houwei is on the verge of victory here against Vittinghus. 4 match point opportunities. He only needed the one. That is extraordinary. 9 straight points to close out this first round victory. And Tian Houwei of China breaks the hearts of Hans-Kristian Vittinghus. 3 wonderful games. And this, the final points as the 2 men, I can tell you, embrace on court, and there the frustration against the delight, the agony and the ecstasy, the double-edged sword of sport. And for Tian Houwei today, victorious. 21-14, 17-21, 21-16 in the deciding game. And it is Tian Houwei who progresses to round 2. Well, it's all been happening here today at the Emirates Arena, because not only the fantastic badminton, but the start of 5 days of the Queen's Baton Relay, which of course will end on the Gold Coast, the baton for the 21st Commonwealth Games. Well, the next match on court features a former world champion. Ratchanok Intanon is up against Yapray Chen of Malaysia. Well, this is in the top half of the draw, the second quarter. And as you can see, the number 8 seed Intanon had a bye in the first round. In fact, all seeds had a bye in the very first round of the women's singles. We know that the number 14 seeds awaits the winner of the match that we are about to watch.